Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to show you how to integrate Sentry.io to your Flutter application so that you can be able to monitor your application and be the first person to know when your code breaks and be able to fix it faster. So what happens is that when you deploy your code to production, something might an error might occur, your code might get broken. You don't want your users to be the first person to know that your code is broken, errors flying up and down, right? And they'll start bothering your customer support, right? So you want to be able to get notified when your code breaks, and so that you'll be able to fix it. So Sentry is an application monitoring software, right? That you can use to monitor your application to know when your code breaks. So we are going to learn how to integrate Sentry in a Flutter application to monitor your application and identify when the code breaks. So this is a Flutter application. There's nothing there. It just this is just the main dot dart. This is just the main dot dart, and which links to this class, which basically the UI that is showing on my emulator. So what it does is it's when you click upload, right, you'll be able to upload an image from your device and send to the backend. So we are going to use Sentry to monitor this application so that whenever there's an issue, an error, Sentry will log that error on their dashboard, and an email will be sent to our email, so we get notified instantly. And as a developer, you jump right on and fix the error before a lot of your users start seeing them, right? So we jump straight as I show you how to do that. So Sentry is an application monitoring software. It is free, though it has a pricing option, right? But the free version can be enough for you to monitor your application if you are not doing much. So you can get alert and notification via email, right? But if you want to use it for your team, for your company, then you might want to go for the paid version. So I use the free version to show you how to monitor your application using Sentry. So if you don't have an account, just go to get started and fill in this information and create an account for yourself. For me, I already have an account with Sentry, so I'll simply go ahead and log in. Right, boom. So this is the Sentry dashboard. So I'll go to the project. For you to use Sentry, you have to create a project that you are going to integrate to the application that you want to monitor. So to do that, just click on create project, right? Then you select the framework that you want to work with. So that means that with Sentry, you can monitor core Android, iOS, .NET, React, Vue.js, Spring Boot, and all of these guy PHP, right? So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll use Flutter to teach you how to integrate with Flutter. So here, so you can select the frequency of your alert if you want to be notified when there's an error or an issue that is of high priority, right? You can just pick this, but if you want when there are more than 10 occurrences, let's say you want maybe about 10 users to experience it first so that you know that it's really a main issue, then you can just pick this. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to choose alert me on high priority issue. Then you can also, how do you want to be notified via email? So for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll just choose notify us via email. But alternatively, you can connect Sentry to your Slack channel where everybody is on your Slack channel, right? Slack channel, so that everybody will get the notification and see when there's an issue. So it's a simple, straightforward integration. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll just go ahead with the email. Maybe later I'll do for show you how to integrate it. So here we are going to select a name, project name. So I'll call it Flutter, Flutter Sentry, right? Flutter Sentry app, right? So I just click create project. As straightforward as that. So the project is created. So we're going to configure the SDK to work with our own application. So to do that, you just come here, pick this dependency, and come to your application, go to your prospect.yaml file, then add this. Then you run your pub.get, right, which you can do on your terminal, flutter pub get, right? So this will sync or resolve your dependency. So that's how to add it. Alternatively, you can simply go to pub.dev, then you search for Sentry Flutter. So this is it. Yeah. So this is it. So this is a documentation, right? So you can simply go to installing, then you run this command flutter pub add Sentry Flutter. Or alternatively, you can simply take this and put it in your dependency just like we did right now. Then you sync your project and that's it. That's simple integration. Okay, so I'll go back to the Sentry dashboard. Sentry dashboard. So yeah, so we've done this step. So the next step is to initialize our Sentry application. So I'll simply copy this and add it to the main.dat. So yeah, so go to the main and yeah, so you come here, then you add it. Right, so you simply need to import it, which I've imported that here. So now we need to make this method an asynchronous method because we need to wait, right? We need to wait for this initialization to occur first before this main method executes. Now, things to note, this is the option.dsn. So this is a unique ID for the project that we created. So my own will be different from your own. Make sure that you get the one from the dashboard that you created, the project that you created. So don't just copy this particular one verbatim, right? Get it from your project. Now, things to note, this is this option.trace sample rate and options.profile sample rate. So this determine how the frequency, how much you want Sentry to capture every activity that happens on the application. So this 1.0 is like 100%. But if you just want Sentry to monitor user interaction when a user uses your app, you can set it into something lower. I usually do 0.05 here, 0.05. So this should be enough for you. When you do 100%, that's 1.0 to capture 100% of transactions for tracing. It's okay if you easily exhaust your subscription, right? But if it's that, if it is what you need, there's no point. You can go ahead. But me, for the purpose of this tutorial, 0.05% can actually trace but not 100%, but 50% of our transactions, right? So I'll simply make this a const to improve the application. So this is all you need to configure or initialize Sentry into your application, right? It's as simple as that. So we'll go to where I wrote the code for this guy. So this is profile controller. So I have this function that I've written. Is a simple function that allows me to upload an image from the device, then send it to the backend, which is a simple function that I've written, right? So you can simply write your own function, maybe a network call. So the point is that whenever there's an issue, there's an error here, we should be able to capture that error, monitor that error, and log it on the dashboard so that you'll be the first person to get notified when the code breaks. So to do that, I can say Sentry dot capture. So you can capture exception, you can capture message, you can capture event. So for here, I'll capture a message, right? So here, this function capture message, it takes an optional message, then sentry level, which is initialized to .info, right? Template, params, hint, and whisk up. So I'll just pass in write the message. So I'll do res.data. So I want to pass in res.data here. Okay. Okay, let me do this. So I'll pass in as the message res.status code, right? So I'll just put it in a string so that we know what that is. Status code, right? So now I will pass in the params, right? So this params is a list. So meaning as much as information you want to send to the dashboard, to the central dashboard that will help you understand what the problem is. So you can put all of them inside the params. So I simply add the res.message. Yeah, so I simply say issue, right? Right, so simply do this. So yeah, so on the catch block, so we could also do sentry dot catch exception, right? So it takes a throwable, our exception, then we can also pass in the stack trace, right? So that's it, as simple as ABCD. So this all you need to be able to capture exception. So when this function throws an exception, you simply capture the exception and send it to the dashboard. Sentry will be the one to notify you via email that there's an issue and you quickly jump on it to fix it. So I just go ahead to rerun the application so that you can see things by yourself. So application is running. Okay. Okay, it's almost done. Yeah, it's installing right now. Okay, so this is our UI. So this function change profile picture is called when you click on this button. So open so that I can see my log. So once I click this, I'll select a picture, then it makes the call, right? So if you can see my log here on the terminal, you can see that request completed with status code 302. So I intentionally make this code to fail, right? It's a 302, meaning it didn't work. If it had worked, we would have had a 200 here. So look at what I did. If it is 200 or 201, then success will show that it worked. S, which means our code is running on this block. So let's go to the dashboard and be sure that our error has been captured, right? So so I just go back to the project, and this is what the app that the project that we created, Flutter Sentry app. So you can see already we have errors, one error, right? So that's it. So if you click on it, right, there's a whole lot of information that we can pick here. So this is type error. Type string is not a type int of index, right? And we can see it started from the main activity, right? There's a whole lot of information here. We could even see the darts that we're using. So I'm using darts 3.3.1 stable. You could see the language is Dart. You could see this is my device name is an SDK G-Phone 64. That's my emulator, right? You could see is Flutter level is an error. You could see my Android. I'm using Android 14. Now this is my app version 100.1. So it has details about your application. You could even see there's a geographical context. I'm recording this tutorial from Lagos, Nigeria, and you can see that the IP address. Basically, you could see the build ID com.example.sentry tutorial. So it captures every information, the build name, right? Every information that you need to be able to trace your application. So all of these are just within your control. Like you have all this information out of the blue without just by integrating what's it called? Sentry. Now let me show you the most interesting part of it. The most interesting part of it now, if you pay attention here, you will see where the error happened in a function called change profile picture in the class called profile controller, right? In the class called profile controller, in the file called profile controller.dat. So now this will exactly tell you where this error happened. So you don't have to start going through where did it occur. So just go to open your file profile underscore controller.dat. Then you look for the class profile controller, then find the change profile picture function. Boom, you're already at the point where your code is breaking now, right? And you start fixing them, right? It's as simple as that. So it makes the whole thing quite easy for you, right? It makes that so easy for you. So you can simply know what the problem is. Now, another interesting thing too, like this, what I've showed you, profile, you could see it even showed you the class part, right? It showed you the part right? Package Sentry tutorial slash controllers. That's the folder slash profile controller. Then this is the class name profile controller dot this is the function change profile at line 63. So that means if you head straight to line 63, inside this function, you'll be able to see where the code is breaking and it's easy for you to fix. That's really out of the blue, very interesting, right? So let's go and confirm. So look at where this thing is being captured, right? Line 63, right? So with this, you've already seen that this block of code does not execute. What executed was here, right? So with this, all you need to do is to fix your bug and deploy again and push again, right? And you'll be the first person to know when your code breaks, right? Just by integrating Sentry.io. So I'll go to my mail now. Do look at it. So immediately that error occurred, right? I was notified. So with this, I just know, oh, there's something wrong with the app, and you see new issue. We notified recently active members in the Flutter Sentry app project of this issue, right? You could see type string is not a type of int of index, right? You could see the date and the time, 1:54 a.m. West African time. You could see the environment is on debug mode, level error. You could see the exception that was shown, type error, right? You could see it even showed you. So from this email, you can see that it happens in your profile controller that you could see it happens in line 63 in profile controller dot change profile picture, right? The IP address, basically all the informations that we saw on the dashboard, you have it being sent to your email. So all you need to do is to jump into action and fix your code and push again, and nobody will know. Like your users, all your users will not know, right? So the first person that interacted with this aspect, right, we trigger the alert and you just jump and fix the code and push again, right? And nobody will know, and your code will be up and running without bugs, right? So if you enjoyed the tutorial, please subscribe to my channel, like and comment so that you'll be the first person. Turn on your notification too so that you'll be the first person to know when I release the next tutorial. There's a whole lot